Hello, welcome back, my music people. Today we are going to be looking at why you shouldn't rush into a relationship or into a marriage. A lot of people have different opinion why we shouldn't rush into a relationship. And research has shown it that a lot of people partner that rush into a relationship at the end of the day they will rush out, especially those young ones who do not have anything about what they are going into. They don't have the idea of what they are going into because from they will just rush into the relationship along the line before you know what is happening. They are rushed out. Listen and hear from different persons.
So we've known each other for about like maybe 6 or 7 weeks. We matched at the beginning of March. And pretty much since we met, we've been going out very consistently, like twice a week, with the exception of when I went to Japan for 2 weeks. And then when I was there, we texted pretty consistently and we FaceTimed. Honestly, I talked about this earlier this week. I don't think it makes any sense to stick to an arbitrary timeline when it comes to like when you should know when it's time to be in a relationship or not. I think really what it is just like when do you stop having an interest in dating other people and when do they also stop having an interest in dating other people, and also like how much do you like this person? Like do you think about being in a relationship with them, or like can you not really picture that yet? I think it's also important to think about when you're deciding whether or not you want to be in a relationship with someone is like, do you want to become official with them because you really like them and you want to be official with them? Or do you just want to be in a relationship and you see this as like finally an opportunity to get into the relationship club? Because that's what my first relationship was like, and I regretted that so much. It was a terrible idea. Honestly, don't get too caught up in thinking about the timeline, like how many days has it been? Are people gonna judge? Do I need to date for this amount of time before getting into a relationship? Literally anything could happen. I had a friend in college who met a guy and then 2 weeks later became official with him and entered into a long distance relationship for like, it was like a year of long distance. It is literally 6 years later. They are married and they have lived in two different countries together. Like anything could happen. I mean, obviously, that's like, it's not the norm, but I mean, my last relationship, we became official after a month and a half and we fell deeply in love. The relationship before that, it was the first guy I fell in love with and we became official after 3 months. And I didn't really notice a difference in like the quality of the relationship or like the strength of my emotions just based on like how long it took us to become official. It really didn't have any effect on it. I think also something to consider is like the depth of conversation on your dates. Like, have you just been talking about common interests like movies and food? And like, have you just been drinking together and just doing activities and just having fun? Or have you been going a little deeper and talking about families, insecurities, like some bad moments in your life? Like, have you really been getting to know them? Because that's also an indicator of whether or not you're ready to really be in a relationship. People are different. Some people are very good at talking about their emotions and they're very quick to get deep with other people and they might be ready to commit faster. Some people take a little longer to open up and it could take them months to commit. Trust your instincts, make sure you really know this person, have some conversations about serious topics, and make sure you want to be in a relationship with them and not just a relationship in general.
The next time you have the urge to go fast in a relationship, but you don't want to chase them away, listen up. Especially if you get a little anxious in a relationship, then this is for you, so keep this video for next time. Because I will tell you, I have messed up many relationships by going too fast. If I could go back to those mistakes and give myself advice, this is what I would say. Nothing good happens when you rush. Think about, really think about it. Nothing great happens when you rush into that. And really think about it. The odds are that if you've rushed into it, there's more likelihood you've regretted it. Because I personally have never heard a girlfriend say, no, I really regret waiting a couple months before we... Here's another relationship example. The odds are you have heard somebody say that they rushed into marriage. Look at the divorce rates. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Compared to a couple that says, I just really wish we had gotten married sooner. Patience will always pay off, which is why you want to get to the root of why you feel that urgency. Because urgency is so directly related to anxious attachment and relationship anxiety. Let me tell you, going faster isn't going to make it better. Tell me in the comments if you agree or disagree.
You are ready for the relationship when you understand that there is no such thing as one falling in front of you from the skies. The truth is, you decide who the one will be. And you're going to have to make that choice many times throughout the relationship with them. And my biggest hope is that you actually choose the one that, instead of giving you many butterflies, actually feels very soothing to your nervous system. I also hope you choose the one whom you can navigate the conflict with and who is actually willing to communicate. The one who can actually be self-aware about the problems that they bring to the relationship. And I also finally hope you choose the one who really shows up for you and who, when life gets hard, because it will, really has your back and is in your corner.
If you watch to this moment, we want you to drop your opinion on why partners should not rush into a relationship. And because you see what everybody is dropping, everybody, the topic is so controversial. Some say it's good, some say it's bad. What is your sincere opinion concerning?
Don't rush into relationships, especially marriage. Before you marry someone, you need to see them in all seasons. When they're happy, when they're mad, when they're stable, when they're broke, when they've been hurt. Sometimes we wonder why people changed on us, when the truth is that they haven't changed at all. It's just that we haven't seen them at their worst before this.
You want to make sure that you get the best partner for yourself. It does take time. So when you first meet somebody, you're looking for the 3 C's. You're looking for, first, chemistry, next is connection, last is compatibility. Once you have those 3 things, now you can start trying to figure out, how do we move forward in our relationship. And honestly, it just takes time. Because unfortunately, what happens with a lot of relationships is people put on their best selves in the beginning. And you believe that that's who they really are. And then you end up finding out 6 months to a year later down the road that that's not who they are. So I say take a full year to really see if this person is who they have presented themselves to be, and not just the person that they only want you to see. And their true colors really start to show up between the 6 month and the year mark. And then you also start to see, based off of how they live their lives and their lifestyle, is this somebody who I can see meet myself or going through life with? But you can't really see that in the first 6 months because you haven't seen enough of that person. You start to really see, okay, this is how they operate when it comes to money. This is how they operate when it comes to whatever. But you can't really make that determination in the first couple of months. And a lot of times people are trying to see that in the first couple of months. But people are rushing into relationships because they feel like they're on a time limit. You're not on a time limit. You want to make sure that you get the best partner for yourself. It does take time.
Have you been single for so long that when you meet a great guy, you cling to him and rush into the relationship, and it only pushes him away? And this isn't because you're excited about meeting a great guy that you connect with after being single for so long. And it's also not because he's afraid of commitment or he lied about wanting commitment. It's because you have this belief that if you don't rush into commitment, you'll lose him. Because you truly don't want to be alone again, and jumping into commitment makes you feel safe and validated. But all this does is create a cycle of you meeting great men, meeting your soulmate, connecting, and then putting pressure on him to where he eventually leaves you. And then you're alone again. All of this is rooted in fear. And it's possible to break the cycle. All you need is the proper mindset that allows you to not only acknowledge and address the root causes of this wanting to rush into a relationship, being able to heal from it, and then break free of that cycle altogether. And when you do this, you'll develop the emotional composure to be patient and meet a great guy and not want to rush the relationship. And this is when the relationship will develop organically, and the connection that you have with your soulmate will be built upon something healthy, something solid. And you won't push him away because the love that he has for you is so strong, he couldn't imagine leaving.
You guys asked for a part 2? Here it is. The 3 reasons why women get married. Now, before I drop this controversial bomb, I need to illustrate an indisputable fact. 99% of marriages are initiated because the man asked for the woman's hand in marriage. So a lot of the reasons women get married are greatly affected by the reasons men get married. But without further ado, let's stir the shit pot. The number one reason that women get married is undoubtedly delusion, and it's pick me delusion. And before you guys lose your shit, please understand that the delusion stems from reason number 1 and 2, that men get married. You have to look at the previous video for context, but look at the comments for confirmation. Majority of men in the comments confirmed the number one reason they get married is because they were ready and she was the best option in proximity. Majority of women in the comments genuinely believe their husband picked them because of true love. So there's a fundamental disconnect there. Women have this rom-com fairy tale expectation of love and marriage, whereas men are just like, well, she was the best thing shaken, so that's delusional. Number two reason men get married is, well, they might as well, right? We discussed this. This is the side chick turned main, the main chick that never left, the 10-year, 3-kid baby mama who was habitually cheated on. It was the last woman standing, right? A lot of these women get married because they believe that marriage is going to change his toxic pattern of behavior, or that it puts them a grade above the other women he used and abused throughout the course of their relationship. It's just a very pick-me mentality. But that's not any shade towards married women, because essentially you can only pick from the men who pick you. So in order for you to be married, you gotta be picked. Reason number two that women get married is money. And I'm not talking about gold digging, so y'all can pipe down in the comments. When gold diggers marry, they marry up for money and or status, and a lot of you just don't meet that criteria. When I'm talking about a woman marrying for money, it is the equivalent of reason number one that men get married. It is based off of logic, and it works in the real world. If she doesn't want children, she's trying to find a man who can pursue and provide the type of life she's dreamed of. If she does want children, then she's thinking about the type of life she wants to raise children in and looking for a man who can provide and maintain that. When women have children, the best case scenario is a 6-week unpaid maternity leave. And if mama and baby are in peak optimal health after 6 weeks, when she isn't healed from the delivery and still breastfeeding, she is forced to go back to work while paying an astronomical fee for childcare. So measuring up a man's financial capacity is a logical thing to do when you're talking about building a life and or a family. If a woman measuring your financial capacity offends or triggers you, it's probably because you're broke and or poor, in which case you're not ready for marriage and should not be getting married. The third and least common reason that women get married is true love. It's the same for women that it is for men, but it's the same for women because of men. And this is really going to bring everything full circle. Men have already confirmed the number one reason they get married is because they're ready and she's the best option in proximity. Reason number two is they might as well. This is why the number one reason women get married is delusion. They think they're getting married for true love, and they're delusional enough to believe that that man picked them for true love, or that the man they truly love is going to change with marriage. But either way, the reason women aren't marrying for true love is because the men they're marrying don't truly love them. And true love is a two-way street. Otherwise, it wouldn't be true. It's reciprocated. There are no falsehoods or agendas associated with it. It is two people who truly love each other and commit their life to each other. So a lot of women believe they're marrying for true love, or absolutely would choose true love as the primary reason they get married, but it's just not a luxury us women have, right? We have to pick from the pool of men that pick us, and more often than not, true love is not the reason that they're picking us. So with that being said, true love comes in again at the bottom of the list for reasons why people are getting married.
You can hear from where everybody said. Drop your opinion.